Representative Garin, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, may I inquire from the Department of Agriculture, can he make a brief rundown on the determinants of price of rice? Ano-ano po ba yung factors influencing the price of rice?
Well, Mr. Chair, the inputs in terms of yung prices ng mga diesel or fertilizer. Pangalawa, which is yung labor cost.
So farm inputs?
Labor cost, meaning the labor cost.
Farm inputs, labor cost, ano pa po?
Yung world market.
World market?
Dollar exchange, if you compare it to the
Dollar
imports.
exchange?
Ano ba ba rin? Logistic cost, ng margins.
Okay. So sa pananaw niyo po, ano po ang nagiging major determinant in terms of the price of rice in the Philippines? Is it the local farmers? Is it the rice produced by the local farmers or the imported rice?
Madam Chair, given the volume of these two types of commodity, the imported one and the locally produced rice, we're looking at a 78-22% ratio.
Can you please make your
Sorry?
voice louder and clearer? So it's 78-22 and 78 is locally produced or
Locally
imported?
produced, and of course 22% ang ating projected na ini-import. So by that number po, mas malaki po talaga yung yung impact ng local.
So ulitin po natin, sa konsumo ng bigas sa Pilipinas, if we talk about the whole pie, 78% ng kinukonsumo ng Pilipinas, ng Pilipino, ay nanggagaling sa locally produced rice, while 22% 22% is coming from imported rice. Do you confirm that?
Yes, ma'am,
DA?
that's based on data po.
Okay. So sa ganong sitwasyon, sino po ang nagde-determine ng presyo? Yung locally produced rice or yung imported rice?
Hindi po yung producer ng rice, kundi yung pong merong mas malaking elbow room, or leg room, or bargaining power in the chain, which is normally the ones in between the consumer and the farmer.
Sir, Mr. Chair, can we request our resource person to answer direct to the point? Who is the major influencer of the price of rice?
I would say it's the trader and those who are in the processing.
By processing, you mean the millers?
The millers, opo.
Ibig sabihin yung mga kapitalista ng ating farmers.
Yun po yung sa tingin namin na mas may malaking influensya sa ngayon.
Ilan po ang total consumption ng bigas ng buong Pilipinas on an annual basis?
Kukunin po namin, ma'am, para accurate lang po yung figure.
Can you confirm the figure of 16 million metric tons?
That's more or less the figure that we have, Madam Chair.
Sorry, that's...
Mr. Chair, with all the indulgence of Congarin, yung mga sagot kasi na more or less, i-compute pa namin. Tagal na sa DA to, Mr. Chair Ba't ganun yung mga sagot nila? More or less, ko-compute namin. Di ba bago sila pumunta dito, Mr. Chair, it's very unfair for Congarin na ganun sagot niyo.
Precisely, Mr. Chair, and you got it right.
Opo.
I really do not want to ask questions anymore, but I cannot feel the sincerity of the DA family, not the secretary, but the other representatives of the Department of Agriculture who has been frequently present in the Quintacom. Hindi po kasi ibig sabihin na kapag present kayo dito ay okay na. Ang kailangan natin na yung puso at totoo yung intensyon na ibaba yung presyo ng bigas. Because it's a basic question at paulit-ulit na tinatanong yon. How much is our consumption of rice? I actually heard the figure of 16 million metric tons, I think, if I remember it right, from Secretary Kiko Laurel earlier today in Bulacan. So please confirm that kasi baka ibang sinasabi niya, iba naman ang sinasabi niyo.
Nasaan yun?
Eh di wala tayong solusyon dito.
Ang total po ay 16,553,247 total utilization po. Kung saan 39,541 po yung para sa food.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Chair. So ang ibig sabihin, 78% ng kinakain ng mga Pilipino na bigas ay nanggaling sa ating local farmers. 22% ang nanggaling sa imported.
Yun
And
po-
if you talk about business-wise, it simply means, ang ibig sabihin noon, yung player, yung nagdidikta ng presyo ay ang local na presyo. Unless the importers will not be in cahoots with the financiers of the local farmers and sell their price based on an acceptable profit from the landed cost. Ang ibig sabihin, dapat yung 22%, and that is how many million metric tons?
Nung 2023 po is 3.611024.
Sorry,
20
6.
Apo. 3.6 po. And ngayon po naman, 2024, ang projected po is 4.6
4.6 million metric tons. So
Apo.
that's roughly 46 million kilos.
kilos. Apo.
Tama po?
Apo.
Okay. Kaya ako ito pinupunto, Mr. Chair, kasi napaka-importante ng role ng NIA. Because if NIA can improve the efficiency of our farmers, then we will have a partial solution to the problem. Next, I believe that NIA was orienting us earlier, Mr. Chair, about the contract growing scheme nung palay. Bakit po nito ginagawa? Dahil nakita po dun sa previous Quintacom hearings na ang nagiging problema, yung farmers actually, konti ang kinikita, yung totoong farmers. Kasi, ang nangyayari ngayon, yung mga farmers, kontrolado na sila ng mga kapitalista who are taking advantage of them. Ibig sabihin, sila ang nagbibigay ng binhi, farm inputs, sila nagkakapital, at obligado silang yung mga farmers na sa kanila din ibenta. Can we confirm this from Administrator Guillen?
Yes, ma'am. Tama po kayo. In fact, again, ang talagang tungo po ng programa ng contract farming, simula pa lang po yun. Pero ang end goal po niya is to empower yung ating mga farmers para hindi na lang palay ang ibenta kundi bigas. Yung makapture ba nila?
Ibig sabihin, yung role ng mga kapitalista ay ginagampanan nyo pakonti-konti para malaki ang kita ng totoo, real farmers, and they will not be bound or tied by the dictates of those who would lend them farm inputs and seeds.
Tama po yan, ma'am. Kaya nga sinisikap namin magtayo ng isang cooperative per town. Dahil tignan nyo po, kung merong sariling cooperative ang ating mga farmers, ma-empower natin sila doon. Hindi naman din natin mawawala yung mga traders, nandiyan pa rin sila. Po. Kasi again, ang target natin would be in the end, complementation ng hindi naman competition talaga na matindi. Pero ang
Ang ibig nyo lang po sabihin is dahil yung farmer ay nakatali. Because napipilitan silang umutang ng napakalaki ng interest at hindi sila pwedeng magbenta ng tamang presyo ng kanilang palay. Kaya lubog na sila sa utang, ang liit pa ng kita, pero yung kumikita hindi masyadong naghihirap. Kaya ito ngayon ang pinapasok ng NIA sa inyong rice contract growing program. Do we get it right, Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Admin Guillen?
Actually,
In other words, will you confirm my statement that there is apparent collusion among financiers of our local farmers? Because they're controlling 78% of the rice being consumed by the Filipinos.
Well, may control kasi sila, ma'am, dahil,
Ano po yun, sir?
pero kung ganito, ma'am,
Okay, will you confirm it or will you say it's not happening?
Well, sana nakikita natin, ma'am, nangyayari dahil
Nangyayari siya. Kaya nga pinapasok nyo ito. Let me segue into my next question. Mr. Chair, may we ask DA, what is the main function of the NFA or the National Food Authority? Ginugol ko nga dito kaya lang kailangan ko yung confirmation nyo.
Ma'am, sa ngayon po, primarily buffer stocking.
It says protecting the interests of both rice farmers and consumers by ensuring food security of the country and on maintaining an optimal level of rice grain inventory to be sourced from local farmers.
Which
Tama
is
po ba
buffer
yun?
stocking, opo.
Okay. So that is still their main function. Mr. Chair, balikan ko lang po ang previous Quintacom hearing. Nakitaan po ng ebidensya na nung tinanggal ang power ng NFA na lumaro sa market by having NFA rice retailers, nagkanda leche-leche ang presyo ng bigas. Can the DA family confirm this?
Malinaw po dun sa lumalabas sa hearing. last
Is it a
time.
yes or is it a no? You
Yes,
said-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's a yes. Okay. 2019, nagkaroon tayo ng rice tarification law. Ang ganda ng sinabing hinaing ng batas. Yung imported rice, lalagyan ng malaking buwis na taripa ng 35% para hindi maging kawawa yung ating local farmers. Pero may siningit na provision na wala sa Kongreso at ang nakalagay doon ay tatanggalan ng power ang NFA na magbenta ng bigas sa public markets. Can DA confirm this, Mr. Chair?
Yun po yung batas. Opo.
Is it a yes or a no?
It is a yes.
Okay. Nung tinanggal yung poder na yun sa NFA, can you confirm that what we are seeing is a collusion, price manipulation among the middlemen and the rice traders?
Right now, ma'am, wala po kami sa posisyon. Ako, personally, to confirm
Hindi,
that.
sa pananaw nyo
Mr.
na.
Chair, again with the indulgence of Congresswoman Garin, these gentlemen had been with the Department of Agriculture for quite some time. And it seems that they're afraid to answer, Mr. Chair. It's either they're afraid to answer or they have done nothing yet, Mr. Chair, on the issues that were raised by Congress. Let me warn them, Mr. Chair, that if ever they will not be able to answer Congress, somebody might spend Christmas in the House of Representatives, Mr. Chair.
Madam Chair, the question is asking for a conclusion.
Mr. Chair, I'm not asking for a conclusion. Let me reiterate my question. And Mr. Chair, with due indulgence, and I hope the DA family will understand this, the reason why we keep on asking this, kasi kailangan kasi makita ng taong bayan na seryoso kayo na ipababa natin ang presyo ng bigas by not tolerating the apparent collusion that is happening among the middlemen. Kanina, klarong-klaro na sinabi ng ating mga wholesalers before our secretary, your boss, Secretary Kiko Laurel, lahat sila, hindi isa, hindi dalawa, lahat sila na nandun sa intercity. Pare-pareho sila ng sinabi. And we even have the list of prices that they were selling to retailers and middlemen. At ang sinasabi nila, ang presyo nila ay nasa 38 to 40 kilos and even 45 per kilo. So ang ibig natin sabihin dito, Mr. Chair, kapag hindi natin nakikita yung political will, hindi matatakot yung ating mga nagsasabwatan sa baba. So to reiterate, I mean, we have here a great economist and a former president who also led this country and who understands the demand for rice and the pricing of rice. At meron ding mga ginawa nung kapanahonan ni Ma'am, kaya nakita naman natin yung paglaro ng presyo ng bigas. So we go back. when the NFA was barred from selling through NFA rice retailers in the public market, can you say that somehow the greatest contributor to increase in the cost of price is the apparent collusion among middlemen, resulting to a lower price among the wholesalers but a very big increase in price sa retailer? To quote Mr. Chair, ang sinasabi kanina ng mga wholesalers, hindi namin maintindihan kung ano ang nangyayari. Kasi ang bentahan namin ay nasa 38 hanggang 48 pesos. Maximum na yan, glutinous rice na yan. Pero nabibenta siya sa merkado at 60 pesos. The selling price is somewhere around 50 to 60 pesos. And everybody was confirming that. So may we again ask, Mr. Chair, the Department of Agriculture, nung tinanggalan ng power ang NFA na magbenta through NFA rice retailers in the public markets, nagkaroon ba ng tila abuso sa baba at collusion sa mga middleman na parang ang nangyayari is when the cat is away, the mouse will play? Kaya kanya-kanya silang pataasan ng presyo.
Please respond, DA.
Yes, there is an apparent collusion given the scenario that we've discussed, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chair, that's why I'm asking these questions again. Because we need to have greater voices, not only from members of Congress, but from the DA family themselves who are overseeing these things, and DTI, if we have a DTI rep here, and even the wholesalers, importers, farmers, and retailers. Kasi ang daming napagbibintangan dahil hindi pa kasing lakas ang boses nyo na aminin na may problema para magkaroon ng amendment ng batas agad-agad at mabigyan ito ng long-term solution. But let me go back, Mr. Chair. Nung nagkaroon ng panukalang batas na ito, na ang nangyari, problemado ang driver kasi may mga akusasyon sa NFA, ang ginawa ay hinulog ang bus. So if there is a bus with a problematic driver, you change the driver. You don't ban the bus. Kasi wala nang masasakyan. Ang nangyari dito, yes, nagkaroon ng mga akusasyon, pero ang kapangyarihan ng NFA na magkaroon ng impluensya sa market price. And Mr. Chair, may we appeal to the DA family to be noisier. Kasi hindi pwedeng hindi nyo sinasabi yung katotohanan na nagkakaproblema kayo and we end up blaming each other. It will be really better, Mr. Chair, if DA will do away with all their fears and call or label an apple, that this problem cannot be solved. It will be a repeating problem unless the government will be given an opportunity to enter the market once there are red flags on possible price collusion. Can we get that assurance from the Department of Agriculture?
Yes, Madam Chair. In fact, last hearing po, binanggit po ng aming sekretaryo na hinihingi lang niya sa Kongreso na payagan na mabigyan ng pagkakataon ang Department of Agriculture at ganun din ang NFA na makapag-intervene sa merkado sa mga ganitong
Mr. Chair, for the record, Congress has always been supportive of that. Pero pagdating sa Senado, tila medyo natatameme kayo, kaya yung ginagawang batas ng Kongreso ay naiibsan. Kaya kailangan nyong sabihin na merong malaking problema. To cite an example, Mr. Chair, may we inquire from the DA family, nung kapanahonan, nung mga nakaraang mga taon before 2019, magkano po ang increase sa per kilo ng bigas from the NFA warehouse to the rice retailer in the public market?
Please respond. Yes.
Ayun pong presyo ng NFA rice prior to RTL.
No, I'm referring to magkano ang sorry.
Margin po.
Margin, yeah.
2 pesos po ang prescribed
2
margin.
pesos per kilo. So if NFA is selling it at 25 pesos to the public market vendors, the market vendors that are accredited by NFA are selling it at 27 pesos. Subalit, Mr. Chair, ipinakita nung nakaraang Quintacom na nung binili, nawalan na nga ng poder. Pero syempre, andun yung bigas. So binenta nila, not through bidding, but through negotiated procurement, to big businessmen, to wholesalers who bought it at 25 pesos and sold it retail at 45 pesos. Yung 2 pesos per kilo na tubo ay naging 20 pesos. At alam na alam niya ng DA. Bakit hindi natin ito ilatag sa Senado? Because I'm sure, Mr. Chairman, members of Senate would do their share. If the DA family will be very transparent in telling them that there is a big problem. Hindi kasi pwedeng dito sasabihin nyo, ay, oo, may problem. Pero pagdating naman doon sa kabila, sige, bahala na po kayo. Kasi trabaho nyo to eh. And I can see Admin Guillen nodding his head. Because that's the problem. Alam ba nila na ang nangyayari, yung 25 pesos na bigas ng NFA ay binibenta sa merkado ng 45 to 50 pesos? And this is something that you should convey. We will also try to do our part, but you have to play your role. Can we get that assurance from the DA family, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat po. Labs na labs talaga namin kayo. Mr. Chair, let me go back to the last Quintacom hearing. And during that hearing, I had very high regard to Admin Larry Lacson. Kung ko po siya nakilala, and he was telling us that he has been in government for long. And the minutes will bear it out, Mr. Chair, when he said, problema talaga nung nawalan na sila ng poder na magbenta through NFA rice retailers kasi nagsasabwatan sa baba sa public markets, wala na silang magawa. And we asked him, how can we help? And they said, amend the law. But then he added something. And I clearly remember that. Ang sabi niya, Mr. Chair, may problema nga kami eh. We have approximately 5.6 million to 6 million metric tons of aging rice. And we don't know how to dispose of that if we will not be authorized by law. Can we confirm this, Mr. Chair, from Admin Lacson?
Please respond, yes.
Mr. Chair, tama po, nabanggit ko, meron po kaming stocks na 5.55 million bags, not metric tons, bags of equivalent milled rice.
So this is bags,
Bags po ito.
not metric tons.
Not,
Okay,
bags po.
okay. And then you should have corrected that when we were doing the computation. Because we even computed that at around 275 million kilos, remember?
Nasa sa 275,000 metric tons.
Okay, ulitin natin, ulitin natin. Teka.
Tama po
bumagsak
yun sa inyo, kilos lang po.
Kilos, okay. So meron kayong 5,600,000 sacks at 50 kilos. That's 280 million kilos. Mababa pala yung low-bat siguro yung computer, yung calculator ko because it was at 275 kilos. I remember that. Remember. And then we asked you, can we flood the market with your 275 million kilos so that all these traders and hoarders will bring out their rice and reduce their price? And your response was, Mr. Chair, baka naman po pwedeng in tranches. And I asked you, how much will you commit? and you gave a commitment of 25 million kilos per month. Do you confirm that, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, ang nare-recall ko, we can review the minutes. I mentioned about ideally 25,000 metric tons yung nilalabas ni NFA sa merkado para po yung aming stocks na ira-round up ko na po, 300,000 metric tons ang buffer stock ni NFA. Divided by 12, that's 25,000 metric tons a month.
Yeah, Mr. Chair,
for us
I
to-
believe we have the records
Yes.
of the Secretariat. You mentioned even 6 months. That's why we divided it by 6 months. And we asked you about 25 million. Sabi mo, maski 25 million kilos, siguro.
Tama po yun, 25 million kilos or 25,000 metric tons per month. Pero ito po, I think the discussion was on the premise na pag nabigyan kami ng kakayahan makapagbenta sa market, ito po yung kaya namin gawin.
Mr. Chair, let me move further. During that discussion, ASEC Bebang of DA handling the Kadiwa was there. And we were discussing the fact that NFA cannot sell through their rice retailers. And then I asked, what if we used Kadiwa? Can NFA sell to Kadiwa? And the answer was yes. And that's why the Kadiwa representative through ASEC Bebang came here. And ASEC Bebang was saying, kaya namin pero konti lang yung aming Kadiwa centers. And then I further requested and suggested, will it be possible that instead of NFA having NFA rice retailers, it will now be Kadiwa accredited rice retailers so that NFA is not selling to the public markets, but Kadiwa is doing that task, but Kadiwa will be sourcing it out from NFA. And that was the discussion. Remember?
Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
please respond.
Opo, during the separate meeting, yun po
No,
yung
no, no,
suggestion.
no. I was referring to the
No.
Quintacom meeting. I will go to that separate meeting later.
We are referring to, and I believe si ASEC Bebang was referring to doon sa ating aging stocks na binebenta sa Kadiwa. Yun
Yeah,
po,
precisely,
20.
but we got the figures from you. And then ASEC Bebang was saying, baka mga ilangan kami ng tulong sa logistics. And then we even discussed further. I even had a motion, Mr. Chair, and that is on the records, that the poorest, the areas with a higher incidence of poverty be prioritized. And that's why my motion was to direct the Department of Agriculture to immediately collaborate between NFA, Kadiwa, and for Kadiwa to immediately identify Kadiwa rice retailers taking off from the abandoned list of NFA rice retailers duly vetted and to dispose or to flood the market with NFA or Kadiwa rice sold at 33 pesos per kilo because, as what NFA has told us, they were selling it at 29 pesos per kilo. Kadiwa, ASEC Bebang even manifested they will not charge anything and they will have a pass-on to the rice retailers. Kasi ang
Congressman
punto
Garin,
dito,
yes.
Mr. Chair, why will I have a motion and everybody, it was a long discussion. Ang tagal nun, paikot-ikot kung anong gagawin. So moving forward, Mr. Chair, to take off from that meeting, there was a smaller meeting with members of Congress. Initially, the plan was NCR, but we ended up, kasi ako nga ang sabi ko, teka, let's have pilot areas muna para matest muna. And we identified Quezon City and Manila. And a meeting was held yesterday with the presence of NFA and ASEC Bebang. And we were actually requesting, baka naman kasi December, mataas ang consumption ng rice. Can we request that the 25 million kilos per month be increased to 50 million kilos only for December and January? Because latter part of February, may harvest ulit yan, pwede nang ibaba. para yung mga naka-hoard at naka-stock na mga bigas ngayon ay magsilabasan at a reduced cost. And the meeting ended very well. And the only problem was how can Congress help in terms of logistics? And they even recommended that we tap PhilPost. And we also did that. But later in the day, Mr. Chair, we were surprised na nagpalit ng isip si Admin Lacson by saying that maybe we can just have 5 million kilos because, if I may quote, he kept on going back to the fact that we need to amend the law first before we can play a role in the market price. Ang ibig lang po dito sabihin, Mr. Chair, tila hindi tayo dito siniseryoso ng NFA. That's why, Mr. Chair, much as I really wanted to be patient, tila hindi po maganda na yung sagot ng NFA noong mga nakaraan na Kintakom at sagot niya rin sa mga small meetings that happened yesterday at the office of the Speaker apparently suddenly changed overnight. Ano
Mr. Chairman,
nangyari?
I think NFA Administrator Larry Lacson is quite reluctant, Mr. Chair, because there is a prejudicial question. If the pleasure of Congresswoman Garin was to accredit, Kadiwa centers, instead of having NFA retail centers, now she wants to outsource the retail outlets and expand the Kadiwa network through accreditation of, Kadiwa centers. Now the question is that allowed by law? So that is the prejudicial
Mr. Chair,
question.
that was also thoroughly discussed after the Kintakom. And the answer was yes. We were just discussing about the absorptive capacity.
Yeah, who rendered?
My point here, Mr. Chair, is the fact that hindi ito isang meeting lang eh.
Yes, I
And
understand.
then at the end of the day, they will just say na, wag muna kasi malulugi daw yung NFA. And I think the problem here is, I'm not sure if they didn't want the 29 or 33 pesos rice. So,
Yes, whose legal opinion was followed when that discussion was made? I think Administrator Lacson, can you respond?
Pertaining to legal po, hindi ko po masabi yon kung pwede yun o hindi. Kasi I'm sure I will not say anything basta legal matters. But what I want to inform the honorable body is that hawak ko po ngayon yung talagang total stocks ng NFA. Lagi ko pong dala ito sa Quinta hearing. Ang composition po ng stocks ni NFA ay merong palay at merong bigas. That's why pag sinasabi ko po, 5.55 million bags of equivalent milled rice. Equivalent. Kasi po, yung iba dyan, palay pa. Ano pong reason bakit i-maintain po natin siya na palay? Kasi alam po natin yung labas sa merkado or yung bili ng DSWD, OCD, very limited po. For this year, 710,000 bags lang ang nabili nila. So, hindi po natin pwede as a diskarte, nagigilingin lahat at once na wala kang sure market. That's why ang sabi ko po, kasi ito yung data,
Mr.
ang
Chair,
ating aging rice.
if I may, that's my point. Because NFA is changing his answers
Yes,
now.
yes.
During the previous Quintacom, he categorically mentioned 25 million kilos. Kasi ang sinuggest ko, pwede bang ubusin natin yung 275 million kilos? And they said, hindi po, 25 lang per month. Now, the next discussion, Mr. Chair, already focused on discussion with Kadiwa. Kasi ang Kadiwa naman talaga, umiikot naman sila. And there's no law barring them from getting retailers. But this was a discussion. It's a short term. It's a stopgap measure while awaiting for Congress to amend the law. That was what was being discussed. And if I may, Mr. Chair, yesterday in the presence of the Quezon City and Manila Kongs, with the presence of Congressman Erwin Tulfo, yours truly, at the Speaker's office, the implementation mechanism was already being discussed with ASEC Bebang. At ang pinag-uusapan nun is not the projected. In fact, they were already talking about how many trucks are needed. Kaya nga nagkaroon, and I even mentioned, let's have a chat group for the implementation. And some of the congressmen were saying, can we have that within 2 weeks' time? And DA was saying, no, it's 1 month. And then the next step was supposed to be for the involvement of the mayors, because they can make sure that the market masters will identify the good and the behaving retailers, rice retailers. In other words, Mr. Chair, nagulat na lang ako nung ando dun na kagabi, late last night, I believe, Admin Lacson mentioned the 25,000 metric tons per month. Yan po ay ideal para maging sustainable ang NFA. We can reach that in few months' time, and if given the required law, mailalabas natin po yan ng maayos. But Mr. Chair, the meeting yesterday was very clear. There were even timelines, and there were even target implementations. ASEC Bebang was saying, it will be very difficult to launch it before Christmas. Can we launch it before New Year? And they said yes. My point here is what made Admin Lacson change his mind. Kung nagkamali man siya, edi sabihin niya. But our problem here, Mr. Chair, if our prime movers on the issue of rice are dilly-dallying with their statements, then how can we have a long-term solution to this? They cannot just keep on pointing at Senate, Mr. Chair. They also have to do their part.
Admin Lacson, I think with the present situation, we need a surgical approach. We cannot continue with this situation na yung presyo ng bigas remains very high. It's not acceptable to the Filipino people. So bakit nagbago ang isip ninyo? Kung nagbago man, sabihin mo kung bakit.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hindi po nagbago ang isip natin. Siguro I would just like to apologize for the confusion. Kasi po, hindi ko po makukumit yung wala ako eh. Ito lang po talaga yung bigas na available. Kasalukuyan po kaming gumigiling ngayon. Although there were suggestions po dun sa mga figures na nabanggit, I'm sorry kung hindi ko masyadong naipaliwanag. Pero yun po kasi, mahirap ipangako yung hindi natin kayang gawin. Wala po talaga tayong ganun na stocks sa ngayon.
Mr. Chairman, Administrator Lacson admitted earlier that the inventory level you have is equivalent to 5 million bags, right? Equivalent to 5 million bags of milled rice. All right. But in reality, what in your possession right now, how many million bags ready for disposal? Yes. Nabigas na talaga na hindi pa not to be subjected for milling. Ilan yon? Kasi doon natin sasagutin ang tanong ni Congresswoman Garin. If it is feasible for us to dispose 25 million kilos of rice this December and the subsequent months.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ang actual na bigas na nasa bodega po natin nationwide ay 459,170. Pero bags po yon. Pero kasalukuyan pong nagmi-mill ngayon ang ating mga NFA-owned, including the private millers. So, yan po yung status po.
So 10% lang ang pwede ma-dispose of your inventory.
Mr. Chair,
10% lang, Congresswoman Garin.
and I'm sorry, Mr.
pwede.
Chair, just to go back, it's 459,170 bags at 50 kilos per bag. That's your current inventory. And that will be milled on how long? How the duration? Or milled na yan?
Milled na po ito. Milled na po ito.
So that's around approximately 23 million kilos. So it's 459,170 bags times 50 kilos. It's 22,958,500 kilos.
Are you in the position, Administrator, to dispose of these 23 million kilos right now in your inventory? And then subject the rest, the 90% of your inventory for the subsequent months?
Ang pwede lamang po by law na pwede namin i-dispose, etong present, ito po ngayon, no? Ay,
Up to the end of the year. Let's say, ano
Ako-
yung for disposal mo? End of December.
up to
And then
the
ano
end
yung
of
for
the
disposal
year,
mo? End of January.
Considered old stock.
pahiram yung calculator mo nga. Ito po kasi inaantay natin mag-age. Kanya po,
Mr. Chair, no, just for the record, we never forced NFA. And I believe Chairman Biron, I believe Chairman Enverga was still here. Siya yung kasama ko, kami yung nag-uusap-usap, and we even had a lot of computations done. We never demanded any volume. They volunteered the 25 million kilos per month. And in fact, Mr. Chair, it was the NFA administrator who said, ang laki na ng problema namin, paano namin ito ma-dispose? We have approximately 5.5 to 5.6 million sacks for disposal. So that did not came from us. Ang punto ko dito, Mr. Chair, we are not forcing them. But this has to be taken seriously because we are releasing statements to the public. We have collaborated with other LGUs, market masters, and public market retailers. And Gadiwa is now on the go, identifying these retailers. And I'm not sure, but I think medyo umayaw yata sila doon sa presyo na nirecommend natin
Yes,
na
I
ang
think-
retail price is 32 to 33
I think
pesos.
Congresswoman Garin, the administrator clarified that the 5 million bags that are now in the possession of NFA is equivalent to 5 million bags of milled rice. But in reality, what can be disposed in is only 10% of that inventory because the 90% has yet to be milled. Is that correct?
that's correct po.
Yes. So ngayon, klaro na. So ang pwede lang ngayon ma-dispose sa itong buwan ng Disyembre, is around 23 million bags. Is that correct, Administrator?
Kinukompute ko po kasi ang
Sige lang, we don't need
So,
the exact figure. Ballpark figure, estimate 23 million
Mr.
bags.
Chair,
Yes.
So
can I have-
kaya ba yan ngayon na i-dispose ninyo through Kadiwa and retail centers accredited by Kadiwa?
Ang immediately pwede po via Kadiwa ay 106,824 bags or equivalent to 5,341,200 kilograms. By next month, there will be an additional aging of 43,807 bags. Then another month thereafter, meron po tayo, ito po yung pinakamalaking bulk na mag-age is 308,539 bags times 50 po yon. So medyo malaki-laki po.
So inaantay pa
every
natin na aging siya before you dispose of the inventory?
Mr. Chair, yun po yung nasa batas. We can only dispose of una sa kalamidad, pangalawa sa emergencies, at yung pangatlo yung last mode bago po maging unfit for human consumption, yung bigas, pwede po nating i-dispose.
Don't we consider the rising cost of rice as a public emergency that needs national intervention?
Mr.
We
Chair,
are in an emergency, Mr. Administrator.
Yeah, that's-
Umaangal na yung taong bayan dito. Ginugutom na. You know, people are starving because of high prices of rice. You should consider this as a national emergency. Rice is a staple of the Filipinos. And in fact, we are the largest consumer of rice on a per capita. 167% ang consumption natin. Kasi wala wala nang ulam eh. Rice na lang ang kinakain.
And Mr. Chair, that was actually the point of, yun ang mga na-discuss na. What you're saying is exactly correct, and this was already discussed during the previous hearing. And mind you, Mr. Chair, ang sinasabi niyang masyadong marami, that will be the latter part of February, that's already harvest time for our local farmers. So kung magbebenta ka sa merkado ng masyadong mababang presyo na 32 pesos per kilo, patay naman ang ating local farmers. Kaya nga, dapat kasi tingnan natin, December mataas ang consumption, mahal, walang harvest. January, mahal, walang harvest. Now, Mr. Chair, if I may go back, you mentioned 10% kanina.
Yes,
10% will be equivalent to how many kilos? It was around...
23, is around 25 million.
Precisely.
Yes.
So
So,
that's
kaya-kaya na i-dispose.
Precisely, Mr. Chair. And I'm not sure, NFA, will you papayag ba kayo kung kunyari ang maging retail prices 39 pesos? Just a point of thought.
Yun nga
What
po.
is your acquisition cost, Mr. Administrator?
Ang acquisition cost po namin, palay price na bili po namin ay nasa 27 pesos per kilo na po. Average for this year. So,
So,
nasa
50
48
pesos.
po ang puhunan yan. Pero
And
ganito,
magkano yung puhunan, Mr. Chair?
27 per kilo yung palay ninyo, acquisition ninyo?
yes po.
Alay? Wet,
Average,
dry.
palay po yun.
Palay.
Clean and dry po.
So what is the cost of your
Yung well milled, what's the
well-milled
cost?
rice?
Nasa 43, ayan,
Sa rice, pero wala
42.85 direct cost po.
Direct cost.
So, Mr. Chair,
Direct cost.
I think this is the problem. Because during the last Quintacom, NFA gave us a price of 29 pesos. And they repeatedly told us that their pass-on price to Kadiwa is 29 pesos. Ngayon, ang sinasabi nila na yung kanilang direct cost is how much? 42.85.
42.85.
That is probably the reason why I was getting information earlier today na kaya sila umaatras kasi luging-lugi sila dun sa 29. At kaya kung pwede daw maibenta at 45 or 40. But my point here, Mr. Chair, is this. If we have the primary agency handling or stabilizing the price, confused with their figures, then how can we trust them? Yun yung punto ko, Mr. Chair. I've been very patient with all of this. Sana, nung unang araw pa lang, sinabi ng hindi totoo ang 29.
Mr. Casas, you wanted to...
Mukha nga pong hindi naging malinaw ang aming paliwanag ng mga unang araw na siyang naging dahilan ng siguro, I would say, confusion today. Yun hong sinasabing 29 na pisong bigas, hindi ho yun yung presyo ng bigas na notarol ng NFA. Yun po yung presyo ng bigas pag ipinapasa namin siya as aging stock. Ang ating pong bigas ay meron po siyang shelf life na mula 3 to 6 months po yon. Ibig sabihin po, pagka po 6 months na, tinitingnan po natin yun na hindi na po maayos para sa human consumption. Before that happen po, yung doon po sa pangatlong buwan, ang tawag po doon, aging stock. Kailangan na po siyang i-dispose. Yun po ang dinidispose natin ng 29 sa Kadiwa.
So, Mr. Chair, yung bigas na kinukuha ng NFA, ilang porsyento doon ang binibenta nyo ng aging? If we get the historical data of NFA for the past year.
Ganito po, ma'am. Siguro po, ang nangyayari po kasi, iba-iba po yung panahon ng aging.
Let's just get the average. Okay. On an annual basis, Admin Lacson, ilang sako ng bigas ang binibili ng NFA?
Binebenta po as aging.
No, yung binibili nyo sa isang taon para mas madali tayong mag-compute.
Palay, binibili namin for this year, nakabili na po kami ng 12 million bags of palay.
Punta tayo sa bigas, yung equivalent in bigas para apples to apples. In 1 year, how many sacks of rice do you procure?
In bigas po, kailangan po ma-convert namin yan into 6 million.
Okay, so 6 million bags of rice per year. Out of the 6 million bags of rice per year, how many is being sold as aging rice?
Ang masasagot ko lamang po yung for this year, kukuhanin ko po yung data last year and previous years. But for the 710,000 bags na na-dispose ng NFA, kalahati po niyan ay aging stocks na naibigay natin sa BJ.
So in other words, 1/2 is being sold at 29 pesos. Pero yung acquisition cost nyo is at 45.
Acquisition po is 27, so
Hindi,
42.
lahat-lahat na. Bigas na nga eh. Pati milling.
42.85.
Okay, 42.85. So, can you confirm that on an approximate and an estimate, 50% of what we procure is sold as aging rice? 50%? Or it's more? Hindi, kasi last year nakita natin yung mga negotiated procurement nila, ang dami. Mr. Chair, this should be looked into. Because why? You are buying at 42.85 and then ibebenta mo ng 25 or 29. Walang bidding ha, negotiated procurement. Napakaswerte naman ng mga negosyanteng binentahan nyo. Kasi binibenta rin nila sa market at 45 eh. So that's the point here. So pasensya na, Admin Lacson ha, but you know, we cannot just smile and laugh about, sasabihin natin may confusion lang, meron lang misunderstanding. Because it's very clear eh. If there was a misunderstanding in the first place, then you should have told us when we were talking about timelines. We were talking about December 25, December 29, we were talking about January 15. So ngayon, ang pagkaintindi ko, halos aging almost, is it 80%? So palugi talaga kayo ng palugi.
In reality, Congresswoman Garin, kung antayin pa natin na mag-age ang rice, mas lalong malulugi sila. So, ang approach talaga ngayon, no, Administrator Lacson, is really, improve the turnover, no, para walang lugi sa inyo. Alright, so, we will adhere, or we should adhere to the suggestion of Honorable Garin. Huwag nyo nang paantayin. Kasi, after all, if you distribute this to the Kadiwa centers, nobody will go back to NFA and sue you, and you get jailed for doing this. Kasi ito nga ng problema eh. Napakataas ang presyo ng bigas. Nakikinig naman tayo dito sa mga importer eh. Most if not all of them were lying eh. Alam naman natin, di ba? Na sila mismo ang architect ng price manipulation. Instead of passing the 6 peso savings on tariff, tinatago nila. No? So, no less than Congressman Villago even revealed that that trade secret, di ba? Sila naman ang nagtatago ng profit ng 6 pesos instead of passing it on to the consumers. So, ngayon is the time. No, you have to be very decisive. It's an executive judgment. I don't think the president will accuse you of any wrongdoing by selling 25 million or whatever in your possession right now. Do not allow that rice to age, because when you allow or you wait for that rice to age, you incur more losses. So that's basic economics eh. All right? So can you commit to this committee now that you're going to give us the 25 million bags? Pero during the initial investigation here, yung sa supply chain kasi ma'am, na-prove natin dito that most of the importers are also controlling the wholesale market. Kasi sila mismo ang wholesaler. In fact, integrated yung merkado nila eh. Yung taga Mindanao, Yun, yung isa sa mga 7 billion cumulative revenue nila, yung matanda, soda, ano ba yun? Imagine mo, she's been doing the importation for the last 3 decades. Tapos, during the investigation, it was revealed na malaking wholesaler siya. Okay? And worse, she's also one of the biggest retailer. So, kontrolado nilang the whole supply chain. So, this is what is happening. This is a new phenomenon. And of course, they took advantage of the lowering of tariff by 20%. So, hindi talaga maiwasan na at some point may itatago talaga sila na dagdag na nakita nila when the tariffs were reduced. So ganun ang nangyari dito when we started the investigation. Ang nag-admit dito that not only that soda trade but other players in Bulacan and other parts of the Philippines admitted to the committee that they're also engaged in wholesaling and actual retail.
Chair, because you mentioned Mindanao Trader.
It's more than that, Madam President. We've also discussed during the last Quinta Committee that some of these large importers, wholesalers, traders have a monopoly until, I think, almost until the retail. So they have a monopoly in that supply chain. And I think there is an allegation that they are also the creditors to some of our farmers for the contract growing. Well, I'm not so sure who was able to give that allegation, or they were able to deduce that they could also act as creditors somewhere within the whole supply chain. The topic that Congressman Garin is asking NFA with regards to the selling of how much their inventory by December and January, so that we will be able to stabilize the rice prices amid the assumed demand during this holiday season. On record, what could NFA actually commit to the committee, especially to those who, I think during that meeting you said that you wanted to correct the records that you were able to dispose of. What could you commit to the committee that we will be able to sell to the Kadiwa farms this December and January before the harvest season?
Mr. Chair, yung kaya nating i-commit ngayon immediately ay 106,824 bags. Then by next month, January, meron tayong mga 308,539 bags. Lahat po ng ating aging stocks, we can commit, wala pong problema sa presyo na 29. In fact, we will be really happy na ma-dispose po ito. Kung meron lang akong legal cover to dispose kahit yung bagong giling, i-dispose ko po. Just to give a perspective. Kulang po kaming ng 300 million.
Administrator, I don't know what definition do you wish to understand right now that this is an emergency. No, we are not in a situation of calamity, but the situation is we have to arrest the rising cost of rice. So, I understand where you're coming from. You need a legal cover, no? Kasi may limitation nga yung batas. So,
Mr. Chair,
kailangan, sabi ko nga kanina, the Secretary of Agriculture will not take it against you. If we decide, should NFA decide at this point? Kasi sabi ko nga kanina yung sitwasyon ngayon requires a very serious interventional approach. Kailangan operahan na It should be surgical right now. So yun yung tinatanong ni Congresswoman Garin kanina, because initially, you had committed that for the month of December, 25 million kilos could be accommodated by NFA. Yun pala, ang 25 million na to is graduated, meaning 108,000 bags muna, 380 sa susunod na buwan, etc. Just to adhere to the definition of aging rice. Pero may legal cover naman tayo We are in a state of public emergency na kailangan natin i-arrest talaga because of profiteers. Profiteering na kasi nangyayari ngayon sa presyo ng bigas eh. Yes, Yusek Asis.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, before that, Mr. Chair, I just have one query through the chair. When is the point of reckoning? After na giniling, or pwede ba ang point of reckoning is yung pagbili ng palay, pag-deliver ng palay? What is there in the law? Because if the law is silent on that, then you cannot insist on a point of reckoning that is based on the mailing date.
After me.
NFA.
Sabihin mo.
What is the legal definition of an aging rice? Meron ba?
Sa ngayon po, sa bagong RTL, meron na talaga very clear. 3 months pag bigas, 6 months for palay. That's the definition. And then sa bagong RTL nga,
Yeah, Mr. Chair, sorry. This is the new law signed last week or 2 weeks ago. Diba? But when this is still applicable next year. Right? Yeah, so what applies now? Because there's no clear definition yet.
ang reckoning po ng pagbilang nung pag umabot ng 3 months ay yung from the date of mailing.
Where is that in the provision, Mr. Chair? Can you point that in the law? Nasa batas ba siya?
Titingnan po namin, no, but nung dumating po ako sa NFA, yan na po yung definition nila sa ahensya and nasa standard operating procedure. We will check on the law itself kung ano po yung sinasabi.
Kasi, Mr. Chairman, kasi if your hands are tied by this legal obstacle, yun nga sinasabi ko kanina eh. You know, the justification for NFA to intervene sa market is because of, you know, profiteering condition right now, Administrator. Alam naman natin, kawawa na talaga ang taong bayan, no? Kailangan ng gobyerno na i-disrupt ang merkado. So, government has to play the role of a market disruptor, you know, if only to bring prices down. So, you know, alam nyo naman, you know, the free market forces, huwag tayong maniwala doon. Kasi, naging guest din natin dito sila lahat. Wala namang nag-commit sa kanila na ibaba ang presyo ng ng bigas eh. Did you hear any of those players committing to this committee that they will bring down prices of rice? No one. Di ba, Mr. Chair? Wala eh. Who is willing to say before the committee, Mr. Chairman, you know, hero ako eh. So I want to bring down prices tomorrow. Kasi sila lahat nag-usap-usap eh. So, ganun lang ang situation ngayon. So if there is one clear justification why government should intervene is for NFA, you know, to disrupt the market and get rid of your stocks. Whether it's aging or not, the Filipino people need your cheap rice. Ganun lang kasimple yan, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Biron. Actually, I just wanted to add to it. Kasi yung market forces, we could rely on the market forces if we are assuming an efficient market. But we were able to already deduce from the several hearings that there are only 10 players. Okay? 10, just 10 entities. Baka iba dyan sa 10 entities, parehong pamilya din naman, control at least 28% of the market. So we could not say that we could rely on market forces to dictate the efficient or the optimal cost of rice, because it's obviously that they've cornered a quarter of the market already. And wouldn't that actually, on NFA or even in the Department of Agriculture's definition, be considered a time where we could introduce government intervention? Because well, there is a surging price of rice. Yes, Nia, admin.
Yes, sir. Ganito na lamang po. Meron tayong kasabihan, sir. Anything that you cannot, meron tayong kasabihan. Anything that you cannot control, you cannot manage. So tama po kayo, hindi natin basta maibaba yung presyo ng bigas ng ganon-ganon. Pero meron po tayong sariling control. Halimbawa, yung stocks po ng NIA sa aming contract farming, pwede ho namin yun mabenta. Ang gawin na lamang po natin, dapat sa lahat ng market sa buong Pilipinas, gawin nating available yung sinasabi natin murang bigas. In the case of NIA, meron kaming 29 pesos and 45 pesos para sa rice for all, di ho ba? Kung lahat po sana ng LGUs, lahat ng LGUs ay maglagay ng kanilang pwesto sa kanilang sa kanilang public markets at bumili sa amin, and then ialaw kami ng batas na yung aming budget ay pwede naming i-revolve. Ano po? Kasi kailangan naming isuli sa sa treasury. Dapat ialaw kami na i-revolve yung aming fund. Tuloy-tuloy nating mapaikot yung ating pondo. Tuloy-tuloy po tayong may supply ng murang bigas sa palengke. Kasi iba-iba po yung klase ng bigas eh. Merong well-milled, merong 5% broken. Hindi natin masasabi na maibaba natin. Ang importante lamang po sana na pagkailangan ng ating mga mamamayan ng murang bigas, meron doon sa palengke. At least yun ang kaya natin i-control. And the part of NIA, kaya po namin gawin yon. Basta, ang hiling lang namin sa Kongreso, iyalaw kami na i-revolve yung aming pondo. Hindi namin isusuli sa Bureau of Treasury. Yun lamang po. Very simple lamang po yung aming kahilingan.
Okay, thank you, admin. But nabanggit na rin naman kanina that we are intending to put up the pilot sites already na rin naman sa NFA of the existing stock. Baka pwede doon tayo magsimula. Total, it's supposed to be a pilot site anyway. Hindi naman to an overall market intervention. Tingnan natin on how the market responds already with the pilot sites. We just need from NFA yung commitment kung ano yung kaya nilang i-dispose within December and January. We monitor, we analyze kung ano yung maging result sa merkado, and then we could already scale this operation. But first, Congressman Garin, are you done? Would you wish to yield muna so that we could go through the
Yes,
the list?
Mr. Chair. Just for the record, Mr. Chair, the law does not state whether the point of reckoning is on the delivery of the palay or the day of milling. So what's not in the law should not be interpreted as kinagisnan ng NFA.
So actually with that, NFA has a greater level of flexibility to determine when it is actually optimal for them to implement this project, submit to the committee the reports and delegations regarding yung turning off ng irrigation. Actually, we're done, but I think Congressman Viron wanted
Yes.
to say something.
Our NAIA administrator. Yes. Kanina, admin, may pinakita kayo doon, no? Na app, no? Monitoring the condition of solar-powered areas, no? Solar-powered irrigation facilities. And nakita ko doon, the AI also includes program for spraying schedule, spraying instruction. Anong ibig sabihin doon? When you do spraying schedule, are you doing that by drone? By ano ba? Kasi, if we adopt the technology provided by Israel, kompleto sila eh. So may drone monitoring sila, may satellite monitoring, and then drone din ang nag-spray. Drone din ang nagmo-monitor when is the ideal harvest time, etc., etc. So far, ano ba ang technology that you had employed, and how much did it cost government?
Actually, Mr. Chair, yung system namin is na-develop po ng Israel, Israel technology po yun. Yun pong sinasabi ko kanina na masasabi naman kung kailan mag-spray kasi depende sa weather. Baka mahangin masyado or may ulan na darating para masabihan namin yung farmer kung kailan mag-spray. Yung pong paggamit ng drone doon, ito ginagamit ko sa akin, kasi naka-GIS system po siya. Ang kagandahan ng system namin, hindi ibig sabihin na lahat ng area, kailangan niya ng pag-spray. Nakikita namin kung saan lamang yung area. So pwede mo po yung i-program sa drone para pagbitaw mo ng drone, yun lamang ang kanyang isprayan. So malaking tipid din po ito. Dahil instead na mag-apply ka sa buong area ng pesticide, kung pesticide or fertilizer, pinpointed na po ito. Ang costing po ng 1 hectare dito is 1 million pesos per hectare.
When you say costing, anong facility pinoprovide? 1 million, what covers the 1 million?
Ang minimum area po namin is 10 hectares. So minimum area po na malagyan namin is 10 hectares, 10 million per system. Ang coverage po is yung georesistivity, kasi kailangan mo po na pong makita kung may tubig o wala doon sa area. Hindi yung drill ka lang ng drill. And then yung development po ng well, yung paglagay ng pipe, of course yung pump niya, yung solar panel, solar pump, yung perimeter fence, yung fertigation. May fertigation po ito and drip irrigation. Para
So,
sa whole system.
okay. So, may drip irrigation kayo. So, kasama na to 1 million per hectare.
Yes po.
Kasama yung the software, hardware,
Yes.
and all the facilities.
Yes.
So, for every area, 1 million each yun. So, if you have X number of hectares spread over the Philippines, na you do this special irrigation, ganun ang cost na
Yes, sir.
sa gobyerno?
Merong ang sinundan naming costing kasi, merong memorandum circular ang DA na ginawa as to ang cost ng irrigation facility. And yung kanila po kasing ginawa is yung pump and the frame at saka pump na would cost around 700,000 pesos po yun yung estimate nila. With us, hindi lang po yun. Meron kaming georesistivity, meron kaming again, yung AI technology, meron kaming fertigation, drip irrigation. Importante po kasi yung georesistivity. Kaya mas mahal yung sa amin. But if you compare that with the costing of DPWH, DP would be like around 1.2 million pesos. So yung NIA po, may AI na, may fertigation na, may drip irrigation pa. At saka yung limit po, yung strength ng amin ay kaya niya ng hanggang 280 kilometers per hour na bagyo. At may warranty po ang ating supplier doon sa system.
Kung may warranty siya, ay ilang taon ang warranty? And what is the life expectancy of that facility?
Yung ginawa nila rito, sir, hindi lang 15 years, mahigit 15 years na And,
15 years.
At mas malayong mas maganda yung
Sulit
technology.
naman kung 15 years, 1
Yes.
billion capital investment.
3 years, bawi mo, may
3, yun nga.
ROI ka na.
Oo. So, the ROI is very fast.
Tsaka mabilis natin i-construct po ito.
Yeah. So, kasi last time, first hearing namin, tinanong ko si Yusek Asis how much of DA's annual budget is spent for research and development to promote, improve the production, and other activities that employ science and technology to ensure that production is sustained. Sabi ni Yusek Asis sa akin 1%. So I have yet to secure the data from you, Yusek, out of the 1%, which is I think 20 million, because less than 1%. So magkano yan in peso value, yung 1% ninyo? Okay lang, next time isubmit mo sa akin, sa committee. Ang tanong ko lang doon, what is the composition of that 1%? Kasi the point that I was driving at last time was Israel, has a very bad soil quality, and yet they are net exporters of agriculture, especially vegetable and fruits. Sa atin, napakagandang lupa dito, and yet we import rice. Alright? So, yun ang malaking diferensya doon. So, I was sharing to admin that NIA plays, I think, the most important role if you wish to ensure food security. Kasi nangyayari ganito, sabi ni Congresswoman Lani, because of migration and population explosion already in Cavite, that phenomenon is happening globally. So, darating yung panahon that Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, India will close its doors. They will not export rice anymore. Si India is the most populous country in the world. Already overtaking China because China declining ang population. India is now close to 1.5 billion people. So ngayon, net exporter pa sila. Pero darating yung panahon, no? While they control 28% of the rice supply in the world, darating yung panahon kasi mas maraming Indiano pinapanganak kaysa Pilipino. So, and because of competition in the global market, the North America and the European countries are willing to buy rice at a higher price. So si Vietnam is also learning its lesson. Kung saan ang merkado na mas mahal ang bigas, whoever wants or is willing to pay a good price, doon nila ibibenta yon. Hindi nila ibibenta sa atin yon. Just like any other business. So kung saan yung mas malaking kita nila, doon nila ibibenta yon. So what will happen? Wala na tayong pwedeng bilhin sa Vietnam, Cambodia, India because one day, they will close the door. So, ngayon ang pinag-uusapan natin is, address the rising prices of rice, and requires a surgical approach. Dapat, before Christmas, maramdaman na ng taong bayan na bumaba na talaga. And, Admin Larry, that is your role, to make Filipinos happy before Christmas. Pero in the medium term and in the long term, we're talking of 15, 20 years ahead. Wala na kami dito sa Kongreso. But we should initiate that program ngayon pa lang, with you guys in the DA. Kasi alam ko, one day, retireable na to si Yusek, Yusek Asis. Si Yusek Morales, siguro after a few years, magre-retire na rin ito. So, we don't have enough time. And after the Marcos administration, hindi na natin alam kung anong programa ng bagong administrasyon. So, while we still have time here in Congress, we still have 3 years, we should be very aggressive in our approach. Employ science and technology, invest in research and development because Israel spends 17% of its annual budget. Wala nga silang tubig Admin, Ed, alam mo ba na sa Israel, 99% of wastewater is recycled. Wala silang tubig. And yet, they are sufficient. So, digital irrigation sila doon. And they survive, and they flourish, they thrive, and they prosper, and they became net exporter of agri-products. Sa atin, kamatis lang, ini-import pa natin Di ba? Pepper, ini-import, onion, lahat ini-import And we have all the abundant land in this country. So, ganun lang yung approach natin. I hope that DA, NIA, one day you should sit down, gentlemen, with the president and employ science because I believe it's only science which will be our saving grace one day, to ensure food security. Yeah. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Comforge. Yes, I think we have to get back to that. We have one point because nag-revise
2
kayo ng
points,
inventory.
Mr. Chair. 2
Dun
points.
sa Kadiwa Farms, di ba?
Yeah, so
Kadiwa
2
Stores,
points.
sorry.
The first point is, ano ba yung totoong commitment ng NFA? And how much is the price? In terms of Kadiwa rice retailers in public markets. Quantity in kilos plus the price.
Mr. Chair, ang commitment po namin as prescribed by the NFA Council, ang presyo po ng aging rice ay 29. 29 po.
Okay, and then the quantity?
Immediately, nationwide po itong sinasabi kong stocks na ito, 106,824 bags.
In kilos, that's
That's 5,341,200
okay. For
kilograms.
December, it's 5.3 million kilos. January,
Nationwide po ito. Aging stocks.
January.
January by, ano na ba tayo? Late January or middle to late January, mga 308,539
In kilos para,
times 50.
so 5.3.
That's 15,426,950
February.
kilos. Ginigiling pa lang po ngayon.
Just give us the estimate for the 3 months. So 5.3 million kilos December, 15 million kilos January, February ano?
Assumption lang po, no? It's the same as
So it's 15 million kilos
15
again.
million kilos.
And you will have this sold through Kadiwa markets and Kadiwa rice retailers.
As P29 po, na 29 pesos po na nila kukuhanin sa amin.
Okay. My question earlier, based on the law, what's the point of reckoning? Date of milling or date of delivery of palay? Or is it silent?
We will check po kung ano talaga
We
yung
already
reckoning
checked eh. The law was there, kaya nga binasa. And I think it's not written there. It says aging rice can be sold into Kadiwa centers and other government outlets.
Wala po sa batas pero nandun po sa operating manual na.
Sorry, nasa?
Operating manual po
And the
na,
operating manual was crafted by?
by the NFA board po.
And the NFA board can actually convene and amend that. If
That's
we are
also-
talking about affecting the price of rice, market price of rice.
They have redefined it before. Dati po 6 months siya, ginawa po nilang 3 months. So, I believe so, Madam Chair.
Hindi, kaya nga. Pero hindi naman kasi nakalagay doon kung ang point of reckoning is delivery of palay or date of milling. In other words, that's flexible. So you can interpret it both ways. And if the price is high because of middlemen who are manipulating the price, then you can put aging rice out in the market, and aging rice is defined as either 3 months since milling or 3 months since the palay was delivered.
Right.
Because what is not explicit in the law should not be interpreted in the way you would prefer to have it interpreted, or kung ano yung kinagisnan.
Yes, Madam Chair. Yun nga po, dati po 6 months yung ginawa na po nilang 3 months. So, ibig sabihin, yung NFA Council po, pwede mag-decide.
Precisely.
Opo.
So pwede nating sabihin na yung point of reckoning ng aging rice is delivery of palay.
If the council member will decide so, Madam Chair.
How frequent does the council meet? And how early can you meet? And can you virtually meet?
Actually po medyo hindi ganun kadalas ang meeting ng council, but we can pass ad referendum resolution kung talagang kinakailangan.
Yes, because you can just comply with the 15 million or 20 million per month. Kailang December is also critical. If you have 33 pesos or 32 pesos per kilo rice, anyway, it will not be that much eh. In fact, even with the 275 million kilos, that's only 0.05% of the total consumption of the country. So it will affect the price, maglalabasan yung bigas, bababa sila, but it will not create losses on the part of the businessmen. But it will cut the profit of the middlemen. So Mr. Chair, if I can again reiterate, may we request NFA to to be religiously consistent in their data. At kung merong mali, i-correct na agad. At kung hindi pwede, sabihin na agad. Pero pag nahanapan ng paraan, sundin naman natin kung ano ang nararapat. Okay? So, they have 5.3 million kilos of rice available for December, 15 million kilos of rice January and every month onwards to be sold to Kadiwa rice retailers. Initially in Metro Manila and in Region 3 and Region 4A to affect the price of rice. So yan po, Mr. Chair. And for the Council to convene immediately, even virtually, so that the definition can be clarified. It can apply both ways. Anyway, if the price is not that high, then you can implement that the point of reckoning is upon milling. Pero kung mataas, yung point of reckoning is upon delivery of the palay. We have that commitment, Mr. Chair.
We will explain this, Your Honor, no, sa council so that we can get their approval.
Oh, admin, there's a requirement already for us to dispose of this. Yung yung commitment na 5,341,000. That one's okay na. All right, so it's just redefining yung date of reckoning na lang para sa aging ninyo.
Bale, Mr. Chair, the
Yes.
5.3 million is okay na in terms of
Wala na yan.
definition. But our point here is we were actually talking about 25 to 50 million kilos per month. Because 5 million will be very low compared to the population of NCR. So we have no recourse but to accept that. But what I'm pointing is the fact that it can actually be 25 million because interpretation of the law can be actually both ways. So once and for, ang sinasabi kasi ni admin, merong bagong interpretation, blah, blah, blah. That's the new law that was signed, I think, 2 weeks ago. But what is still in effect now is the old law. And therefore, if the law is silent, then it does not define the point of reckoning as the day of milling. At the end of the day, Mr. Chair, the NFA officials, walang maghahabol sa inyo kapag interes ng taong bayan ang tiningnan natin. Yung mga nakasuhan kasi dati, binenta nila ng 25 pesos sa malalaking negosyante at binenta ng 45 pesos sa tao. Pero ito, ibibenta nyo ng 29, ibibenta sa retail market ng 33 or 32 pesos, 33 pagka sa probinsya, then it will not really encourage anyone. Part of the risk in government service is that. Pero ito naman, talaga namang, meron bang kakasuhan ka dahil binenta mo yung bigas ng mura?
Makukuha po minsan. Ay, hindi,
Hindi, if you want, then we can actually request COA to give an official interpretation. And then that will, just tell us what you need, what your problems are, and we'll check on how Congress and how our leaders and the leadership and the Speaker can come into and help you. Diba? So thank you, Mr. Chair. Merry
you.
Christmas.
So yes, if you could comply with the request of Honorable Garin. So
One
yes.
point, sorry, Mr. Chair, last point. Can we change the name? Pasensya na, because when we were in the meeting yesterday, I was being told, syempre, pag aging, may konting amoy na. Bilang isang babae, hindi ko alam kung natamaan ako o hindi. No, but with that, Mr. Chair, ang pangit, medyo hindi kasi maganda yung, sabi ni admin, pag 2 months pa lang daw na aging, well, konti pa yung amoy. Pag 3 months daw, medyo, hindi na daw, medyo maamoy na. Oh.
That's-
Pero lahat yata ng mga Bisaya, hindi nangangamoy. But then, Mr. Chair, maybe we change the terminology. Kasi di ba parang ang pangit na, binenta mo kasi aging na. Can we possibly, we can just say,
Based on
freshly
the-
harvested rice. Oh.
Based on time
Actually,
na lang.
Mr.
Not
Chair,
based on smell.
actually, binago na po namin ang term. Hindi pa lang kami sanay. It's
Ano yung term?
non-regular stocks.
Idea yun. Then why don't we use that?
Regular and non-regular stocks na po. Medyo sanay pa lang din tayo baka...
No, but admin, it should not be them adjusting to us. It should be us adjusting to the situation. Kasi medyo pangit pakinggan eh. And actually, maraming kumakain ng bigas, niluluto yun. 9 months, okay pa rin naman eh. Meron lang medyo mga itim-itim, pero napupunta naman sa taas ng tubig, tatanggalin mo lang din eh. And then with boiling water for several minutes, that kills everything there. You can't even be poisoned by that. Let's use the new,
New definitions,
the
terminology.
more acceptable terminology, the more practical terminology. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Garin. Actually, we're quite done. We've done quite an exhaustive interpolation of this. And if there's no more, yes, I'd like to thank our resource person, the DA, NCIA, NIA, NFA, and all of the other resource persons. And I guess this is our last for this year. We will be having more for this. Please make yourselves available in the next hearing. But for now, until next year, session suspended.